nothing in my house that doesn't have a lot of meaning to me. And it's the same way with the recipes in this book. Each recipe has a tremendous amount of meaning to me, either because I've had it in that country, or I've tasted it here in the South, or I've used it because I wanted to lighten up my cuisine. Each recipe has meaning to me, just like every little thing in my house has tremendous meaning to me too. My name is Jenny Brulé, and I've written a cookbook called Learn to Cook 25 Southern Classics 3 Ways. It's published by UNC Press. If you don't know how to cook, this is the book for you. At its essence, this book is a teaching cookbook, and it really takes you by the hand and guides you through how to prepare 25 Southern iconic recipes, and then with just a few changes, maybe an ingredient change or a method of cooking change, it teaches you how to make a contemporary version of the same recipe. If you do know how to cook, but you've always been curious about Southern cooking, this book is for you. If you have a global palate and you love international foods, but you don't know how to create those flavors at home, this book is for you. This cookbook is also really personal for me. I tell a lot of stories in it. My husband and our 4 daughters and I lived in Europe for 7 years, and we traveled every chance we got. And so I incorporate the flavors that I discovered on our adventures, but also I incorporate a lot of the stories. I grew up in the Midwest in Ohio, one of 5 kids. My parents always had a deep love for cooking. They left their jobs. They took a leave of absence one summer when they were 50 years old, and they went over to Paris and studied cooking at Le Cordon Bleu just because they loved cooking so much. And that had such a profound effect on me. The way I saw food, the way I saw the love that they had for cooking and for eating. I went to culinary school right after college to become a qualified, classically trained chef, but I always knew I wanted to be a food writer. I wanted to develop recipes for the home cook. I wanted to bring the amazing flavors of restaurants in to the home and to encourage people to cook. I mean, that's what this book is all about, is to get people to cook, to give them the confidence to cook. I want to show you how to make a tomato pie, which is a really classic Southern dish. It signifies summer when you can get ripe tomatoes, and there are very few ingredients, so every ingredient needs to be super ripe and delicious. I started by slicing 1.5 pounds of tomatoes. I sliced them in half right through the equator, right the middle of the tomato, and then I squeezed each half gently to get the seeds out. Then I sliced those halves into more slices, thinner slices, and I salted them, and I've put them on paper towels. And what that does is it draws out some of the juice, so then when I bake it in a pie shell, it won't be too soggy. So I've pre-baked this pie shell and put a little Parmesan on the bottom, and I'm just gonna layer in the tomatoes. And it doesn't matter if they're different shapes or sizes. They should be about the same thickness, but the shape doesn't matter. Like here's an end next to a middle, that's fine. And then we're gonna do some sweet onion. This is a Vidalia onion, but you can use any kind of sweet onion. And these are just sliced thinly. They're delicious to eat, but they slice up really nice. You can have them cooked or raw. Okay, then I do another layer of tomatoes. So just layer those. So the topping is 1 cup mayonnaise, 1 cup shredded sharp cheddar cheese, or you can use mild cheddar if you like, and some freshly cracked black pepper. Always crack your black pepper fresh. It tastes so much better. Put some black pepper, and then cheese. This is not a diet recipe, but it really is so good. There's some sort of synergy that happens when you mix ripe tomatoes, sweet onions, mayonnaise, and cheese, and you bake it up in a pie shell. It's just, man, the final product is amazing. So that's it. Then I dollop this whole amount in the middle of the pie and just push it out to the edges, but not all the way. So bake at 400 degrees for 40 to 45 minutes. If during the baking time the crust gets too brown, just lightly put a piece of foil over the top and that will stop the browning. The cheese goes all golden, the crust gets golden. It's absolutely delicious. Let it rest for just a couple of minutes, maybe 20 minutes before you slice it. Well, here it is, our tomato pie. You can see how the cheese has gone all golden, a little bit of brown spots. The crust has gotten golden and beautiful. The tomatoes have softened, the onions have softened. It's just made this amazing mixture of flavors that's absolutely fantastic. Learn to Cook 25 Southern Classics 3 Ways will be published by UNC Press in September of 2016.